nation army couldn't hold me back.
Welcome to the Heat versus the World podcast.
And
now, stand up and make some noise for your host, Joel Jacob.
Hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Heat vs. the World, our season finale pod. Yeah, man. I mean, y'all saw last night's game. I didn't, but I'm assuming y'all did. The Heat got blown out. You know, it's funny because I remember the last time we lost by 30-some points. We felt like we dodged a bullet because we didn't lose by Paul Pierce that game. However, they made up for it last night by ending our season by a Paul Pierce. We lost by 34 points. And yeah. So I mean, ain't nothing new. Shout outs to Bam for showing up. The guy that I want to focus my opening thoughts on, the guy who didn't have a good game, the one who, said at one point he was in the same conversation with Luka Doncic, who had a killer game last night against the Clippers. If y'all watched that after that slaughtering the Celtics did on us, the guy who said he's in the same conversation as Trae Young, John Morant, and all them other guys, he didn't really show up last night. I was a little surprised because I would think someone that's in the same convo as those guys would, maybe play like one of them, but they didn't. He didn't. You know what? And you know what? Maybe they is his pronoun because at the end of the day, we know he's not him. So there's that to mention while we at it. But I'm sick right now. I'm sick. I want Tyler Herro off my team. This dude is not who y'all been thinking he been all this time. I'm pissed off. And I'm exhausted at the fact that this man been on my team for now 5 seasons. Y'all said y'all wanted to give him a chance because he didn't have a chance to show what he was capable of doing during last year's playoff run. Y'all had your opportunity. Y'all saw it. Now shut the hell up and let's send this man somewhere else. I'm tired of y'all coming up with these excuses, shifting these goalposts for him. And for what reason? So he can continue stinking the bed while y'all come up with a new excuse for him every single time he does something wrong? Screw that. I'm so tired of someone who doesn't even have any sort of, IQ whatsoever to go on the floor and just simply play good basketball for once on a consistent basis. And yet y'all want to come out here and defend this dude. And he wants to push himself as this guy who's, a star. He feels so entitled to say, I should be in the starting lineup. Nah, man. Nah. I'm done with it. I'm pissed off. And you know what? I had been vocal about it, but it got to a point where I'm now even on this on Twitter because I can't say nothing on social media without these clowns coming up talking about, you hate Tyler because, you're jealous of him or whatever. Wipe y'all mouths for one time, please, bro. Wipe y'all mouths. I know y'all feeling like clowns, wiping all that saliva off y'all lips right now, talking all that talk about Tyler just so he can go out and do what he did last night. I know y'all feel ashamed, but please wipe y'all mouths for the one time. I'm sick of this. I don't want that man on my team next year. I don't care if we trade for prime Michael Jordan and they say we can keep Tyler Herro. We don't have to include him in the deal. Get him off my team. I don't care. I'm done with the excuses. And I'm tired of someone being so entitled like him to think he deserves the whole world for someone who can't show up when we need him the most. 5 years now. That's the big enough sample size. I'm tired of it. Okay, there's not a single injury y'all can throw in that man's way as an excuse. There's not a single thing y'all can say to defend that man. And some of y'all might say, I'm going too rough on him. What about the other guys? Well, guess what? The other guys not getting paid the type of money Tyler getting paid right now. The other guys out here, they don't talk the way how Tyler talks, where they be like, you know what? I should be in the starting lineup. I'm in the same conversation as Luka, Ja, Trae, and all these other guys. They're not like that. Tyler, on the other hand, think he owe that stuff, but can't back it up for once. The only reason why we got a game 2 win was because Tyler wanted to go out, have a fluke performance to at least prevent us from getting swept. So shout outs to you. And it's funny. It's funny because I even said it on that previous episode. I said that I was not going to take it easy on him with my lashings and all that because I had to see it for the rest of this series if he was really like that or if this was just him being that inconsistent player that he's been for a big part of his career. And I was unfortunately right. All right. So don't think that, and I say unfortunately because I want y'all to think I'm trying to take some victory laps or something because this dude stunk it up. Nah, I've been hoping that I'd be wrong all this time. I was hoping for that. But once again, he shows that he never been that guy. Either he either sucks it up and simply takes on the role that whatever we feel like giving him, whether if it's coming off the bench or whatever, or get the hell off my team. And I don't know, man. I see people put out the sage for whenever, the Heat got like a bad game. So like they hope that he can start winning games once they get the sage out. Stop it. Because what we really need to do is get some sage to hope that the demonic spirit that's working towards keeping Tyler on this Miami Heat team can go away once and for all. Because something satanic is going on that's keeping this man on my team year after year after year. And I'm scared right now. It's satanic, Alex. Satanic. I'm scared. Because I don't know what I did to earn this. I really don't. I really don't know, and I'm getting scared, y'all. Because why is this man still on my team year after year after year? If I have to see him come up and say some nonsense at the beginning of media day next year, y'all might not see me host this pod no more. Y'all might not see me doing this stuff no more because that's how much this man's taking a toll on me. I'm done. I'm done. Get him off my team. Put him on Cleveland. Put him on whatever team asks for him. Send him to China, bro. Or, send him to, what's it called, Puerto Rico, man. We might as well get DeMarcus Cousins for this dude. I'll take anyone. I'll take anyone. I don't care. Just get him off my team. That's all I ask. Just end the suffering. Okay, I'm tired of it. I'm tired. Okay, the mic is yours. Say what you got to say.
I mean, I think that for both parties, there's no need to talk about the game. Like the game was what it was. I really don't. I can't foresee any of us having too much to say on the game. But I think that the best thing at this particular juncture for Tyler and for the Miami Heat, is, to both go their separate ways. I mean, since that's the topic we're talking about, that was inevitably going to be the second topic. But since Joel skipped right over the first topic, in his passion and in his hurt and in his pain, and went right to the second topic again because the first topic is a non-topic. I think that's just the answer. I mean, there really isn't an in-between. We've been experiencing for the better part of Tyler Herro's tenure, the highs and the lows. He shows up just enough to get you to believe, and then inevitably, and unfortunately, in some circumstances, it has been his body that has failed him in the most inopportune times. But even when his body hasn't failed him and he has had an opportunity to show us with the product that he's putting on the floor, that whether that be the regular season or the postseason, honestly, that, he is what he thinks he is or what he thinks he should be afforded as far as a player or freedoms on the court. From that perspective, he isn't that, or at least he can't be that for the Miami Heat. There is this line of thinking, and I'll be honest with you. Wednesday evening, as soon as after the game, I was still immediately of the same line of thinking that I've been of for the last 2 or 3 years with Tyler. And I've said this for about the last 6 months. It was referendum time. And I think that though I didn't imagine it would happen this way and nobody wanted it to happen this way with the Miami Heat going out super sad. Of course, we're not going to bring the injuries excuse, but, things that happen the way they happen with them going out super sad. It was sort of like we got that referendum one way or another, whether we wanted it or not. And that whole thing has always been, for me, and I respect the hell out of Spo, respect the hell out of Riles, like the greatest, two of the greatest, arguably the best at what they do. So this ain't flat out poo-pooing and what you see a lot of people doing blasphemously or erroneously. This is simply me expressing my frustration over this one particular issue because, I mean, as Day said in Next Friday, play us up. And for me, you have to look at Spo and Riles and like, why didn't somebody let their nuts hang a little while ago and either have the conversation with him like, dog, you're a 6 for us, or we got to move you for something that fits better. And that's been my thing, for the last couple of years, but for the last 6 months since he got back, I felt like this playoffs was going to be his referendum. Like I said, whether it be his body's fell him, freak injury, whatever, we haven't had the chance to see him. And not only did we get an opportunity to see how he would perform, but we got an opportunity to see how he would perform as the lead guy, not only just in the scenario with which we needed to see him, because there were crucial decisions needed to be made on the other end of this either way, just depending on how it worked out. And of course, based on the Miami Heat not being able to quite get to the promised land in the previous years, but especially in light of everything Joel mentioned, everything we've heard from Tyler Herro, everything that he thought he was, him thinking that he was in the same light as those guys, him saying he should be a starter, him saying he'll do whatever it takes for the team, but he knows that he's a starter and everybody else effectively knows that he's a starter. Well, this was his opportunity not only to talk about it, but to walk about it, because he had the rock, he had the opportunity. Of course, Bam did his thing. Shout out to Bam, as Joel said. 10 straight games of 20 points in the playoffs. That's big time stuff from a guy that we're continuing to see improve on the offensive end. I loved his aggressiveness. Loved his aggressiveness in the last 2 games. I couldn't ask for nothing more, but it was Tyler's show. And what Tyler didn't do was step up to the plate and perform like he should have. So where I was, have that conversation with him and let him be the 6th man, or he accept that role and we rock from there, because I still like what he brought to the team. I just think at this particular juncture, with everything that has happened, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if they can move beyond what we've seen happen throughout his tenure, culminating with what was like an absolutely devastating series for him. I mean, that one game doesn't mean anything when you co-opt it with the rest of the series. Like if you had even given me 2 of those games, or 2 games where you play well towards the Miami Heat winning, that means something. But like you said, Joel, and I mean, I know he has that in him somewhere, but it seemed like a fluke, because not only did it not happen in the other games, but you were terrible for the most part. And that's bad. So I just think that they need a separation, man. That's what we at with that.
Please, Alex, you.
I mean, I feel like my point and my stance on this has been the same since 2022. That was the year that this group should have gotten over the hump and won the championship. Like that was the year, that was the team. We had everything, and we lost in 7 to the Celtics. So I've basically been on the same stance since that series in regard to a Tyler Herro. So, I mean, yeah, everybody, y'all both have basically said everything that I would say. Like, and I was at the point, like earlier, I was at the point this past season where Joel was with saying, yo, like they need to talk to him, he need to accept his role. But now, after everything has happened, how it's happened, I've moved past that, and I'm with K. Like this, yesterday's game, that was the end right there. Like it went out with a whimper. It is what it is, but I think he needs to change the scenery, and we need a whole lot of stuff to change in Miami.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I'm gonna take over here, Joel. Not to cut you off. Did you have anything? Because I think that would be a good topic to go into next.
Right, I just gotta say it's like disappointing, because I just feel that the Heat invested so much hope into him, which is why he's been on the team as long as he's been. That and the demonic spirits I was referring to earlier. But it sucks because now his value ain't the same no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because every offseason, it's like, okay, well, this guy's available. Tyler Herro, this guy and that guy for filler, and, our first round picks. And, then you had the guys who thought that Tyler Herro was so valuable that, like, for example, when the Donovan Mitchell saga went down a couple years ago, it was, Tyler Herro and 3 first-round picks just to get him? That's an overpay. And I know they feeling mad foolish right now, but it is what it is. His value ain't there no more. That's the issue with him being here as long as he's had, because he's kind of messed it up, whether if it's been the injuries along with the combo of his gameplay. Like, it's just not at that type of level no more. And it concerns me. It really does. And I don't know. I pray to God for a miracle this offseason. What the enemy makes for evil, our Lord turns it for good. So I'm
not of that same mindset. I'm not that his trade value is tanked. It isn't as high, but I mean, I feel like what you've learned about Tyler Herro is that he can't be your best. He can't be your best out. All right, here's what I want to say. And it's a conversation we've been having in, the private group chat or production, whatever you want to call it or phrase it, all day. And it's geared towards Jimmy Butler. And I'm not going to step on our toes because we're going to get there later. Really ain't a whole lot to talk about. So I feel like once we get through these couple of topics, that'll pretty much take us there. But Tyler Herro still has good trade value for certain teams. Like if Tyler Herro went to the Warriors, killer. Tyler, run and gun, like killer. What Tyler Herro can't be is your top outside option. And here's the thing about it. Jimmy Butler's a very unique case. There are like 3 dudes that still play the game from the middle and that are effective, high-level guys. Like you're talking Jimmy, you're talking DeMar. Let me see. Who's another dude that still play the game from the middle? It might just be Jimmy and DeMar. So, like, it's a very unique circumstance that Tyler Herro can't be your best outside oriented guy. And on most teams, he wouldn't be. It's just that with this unique situation, so it's almost like he could play or be successful as the third option 2B, 2C on any team besides the Bulls or the Heat, besides a team with DeMar DeRozan and Jimmy Butler.
I mean, listen, man. I mean, that's encouraging. I'll say that because I want him off my team.
Fair, but that goes also to another thing, and I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna piss you off. You said that Tyler Herro 3 first-round picks a couple of years ago, and we was like, man, it's gonna take all that to get Donovan. And then you was like, I bet they wish they would have did that. No, because I wouldn't give them Tyler Herro and 3 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell now.
Really?
Nah. Have you seen the series with Cleveland and Orlando? But that's not our business.
Alex.
He's hurt. He's hurt.
Oh, it's all okay. I got you for sure.
Like,
so let me ask you this. What happened? What was the issue in Utah? I mean, he might be hurt now, but it just seemed like the same things happened in Utah. He go get his number. He go get his numbers. They look real good, but something that shouldn't happen, like for some reason, some that shouldn't happen to his team. Like in Utah, 2 years, they were among the best teams in the league, best record type stuff. Like, I mean, killing teams. And he got his numbers. But for some reason, like, these cats can't win. I don't get it. And it's sort of like the Tyler Herro phenomenon. At some point, it got to be him.
Alex, you got anything?
And I'm not saying, hold on. And let me correct that. I'm sorry. Not to keep it. And I hate when people say I'm not pooing on, like, I would love Donovan Mitchell on my team. I just can't trade the farm for him. And when I say it got to be him, I don't mean he's a terrible player. I don't mean he sucks. I don't mean he can't help the Miami Heat. I just don't mean he's not a number one option. And depending on the situation, because he's the point guard-ish type player, he can be a number two. Like on the Miami Heat, he could be a number two who acts as a number one throughout the season because he's going to do the scoring punch, whereas it gives Jimmy a time to rest. But, it takes that type of situation for him. So, no, I wouldn't move Tyler Herro and 3 firsts for him now because you're inevitably going to have to move at least another player or 2, maybe 3. I'm just including that fact. That's all. So they can get 1 first-round pick, 2, as long as it's protected. But, no, I wouldn't move the farm for that boy now. But that's neither here nor there. We talking about that guy.
I mean, like, I'll say this, and I mean, I want to, because the Donovan stuff kind of goes into our off-season talk that we'll probably dive into a little bit before we head out. But I mean, I'll say this: he is a free agent. I mean, no, a free agent this upcoming off-season, not this
impending free agent, just as good as a free agent. Because, like, I think in this particular NBA, if you're a team that's holding on to guys in this particular NBA, you silly.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's like, at this point, it's like I don't know how much it would take to get him, but for a guy who is on an expiring, it's like it's gonna make you think that the price ain't gonna be like what you want it to be.
What did Dame draw? Like, you can look at the Drew Holiday situation and be like, okay, they got fleets, but at the end of the day, Dame didn't get a. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, GMs can look at what Cronin did and be like, I'm gonna play hardball, but Cronin at the end of the day got screwed.
He definitely got screwed.
So it's like, I think that whole thing sets up for a decent market too.
Yeah, I'll say that. And I don't know if it's true. I don't know what the relationship is like, but some folks say that the Heat and Kobe Altman have a good relationship. So there's that as well. I'm not gonna.
Speaking of relationships, I mean, we're not gonna look too far, I guess, but you also got to look to Phoenix, like who runs the show out there. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. James Jones and everyone there. However, there was, I don't know, maybe it's smoke screen. We'll have to wait and see. But I know not general manager, but the owner came out and yeah. So I guess maybe nothing's gonna happen there. Which
smoke screen.
I don't know what he's doing.
Well, that's another thing.
Yeah, I saw some. I forget where it was, but I saw somebody was like, it felt like that ever since Buddy took over Matt Ishbia, they said it was been like the Looney Tunes out there. Like,
it was like he know basketball from a fundamental on-court perspective, but he don't know basketball mechanisms. And it's not even business operations, like on the highest level of being a Fortune 500 guy. It's just that, like, okay, we know that you pass the ball to the guy on the pick and roll and those fundamentals. But we know that, okay, if our main guy is a super uber athletic guy or our main center is a springy lingy guy, we better have a dude that want to play defense or a dude that just want to get in there and bang just in case. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just the mechanics of basketball. They say that's what he suck at. And they also say he been clipping James Jones nuts. So that might be a thing too.
Go ahead.
I don't know, like, I just want to say, like, real quick, I just feel like he's just getting these nice players and stuff, and like I just don't think he gets like the fit in all this. Because the talent's great, but like the fit also gotta play a role. Because it's like you a bit and it fits him because he a billionaire, right? So it's like you go out there, you get all these nice flashy little cars. You got yourself the Lambo. You get yourself a Bugatti, make all these crazy purchases here and there. Well, I don't think that expensive for, a billionaire, but still you make some very insane purchase. Let's say you a millionaire instead or whatever, just to like fit that price range. You buy all these expensive cars and it's like, you don't know what to do with them. They all in your driveway, your what's it called, garage or whatever. And you don't know what you're doing with them or nothing, bro. And, you don't know exactly much about these cars or what they've been through and stuff. So one of them cars is used and now, you're paying too much money for it when it wasn't really, that valuable in the first place. That car is called the Bradley Beal Mobile because, you paying all that money for a car that got a no trade clause or whatever type of car reference you can make for that and all that other stuff. So I don't know, man. It's not looking good to be a Suns fan. And they talking about running it back. Best of luck, because you're talking about 26 other teams who trade to have your roster. I mean, I know Spo could work a miracle with your team, but the way how y'all running things right now, I'm not sure if I'm trying to stick around and see what y'all trying to do, because that's the clown show right now. That, and you look at that report from Shams where he like, yo, this one dude was telling me, oh, this Frank Vogel was talking all this talk, and I couldn't help but hold back from laughing. That's not a serious organization right there, because you would never hear the Heat or wherever leak that type of stuff to Shams and all them. So I don't know. It's a whole circus going on over there, and KD, shout outs to you on picking that team. Another brilliant move from him for his career. So I ain't got nothing more to say about that. Who was speaking? I'm sorry, I got a little carried away.
I mean, eh, I, shoot, I don't even remember where we were and how we had got to. Well, we was talking about Donovan Mitchell a little bit, then we
Right.
ended up talking about KD. But shoot, yeah, we could just move on to whatever's next.
I mean, I would say the next thing probably would be that we were going to head to was the whole Jimmy Butler of it all. With let's say we rid ourselves of what we all deem to be, a mutual. I ain't gonna say rid ourselves because that's disrespectful. Let's say we have a severance with Tyler Herro. So that's the first part, right? But then you would have to give Jimmy the extension, and that's what it seems to be the buzz on. You know what I mean? Social media. How you guys feel about that?
I'll go first on this. So I think I might have mentioned it. I don't know if I mentioned it in the chat last night, but I know I literally talked to my fiance about it last night after the game. I was like, Dad, like there is an actual world where the Heat trade Jimmy Butler this offseason. Like I was like, I was talking to her about it, and I was just like coming to grips with like, yo, like that could possibly happen. And then throughout the day to day, I've like listened to different post game shows and different insiders talk, and I mean I ain't gonna lie, like I get a bunch of my stuff that I listen to from 5 Reasons. And so like from listening to Ethan talk about it with different people on different platforms on YouTube, I've honestly come to the point where like you have to give them the money. Like we basically like honestly how the money will work out. I think it will basically he'd be getting an extra year because he has next year and then the player option. So that
Yep.
player option will be gone, and so basically he will be getting like I think next year, the year after that, and then one more year after that. And
It's just effectively
overall,
one more year. It's just all
yeah,
guaranteed, as opposed to
yeah,
having to be contractually saying, "Hey, I'm gonna do this." But if
yeah.
you lock Jimmy up,
Yeah.
it's like you can build off that.
And I mean, like I said, man, I've still had the same thought process in regard to Jimmy needing another guy that can step on the court and step into the locker room any given night, walk over to him and be like, "Hey, yo, 22, I don't need you to do nothing tonight. I'm going for 40." And Jimmy can just coast. But we never found that for him. Like, I mean, before this season, Pat was talking about maybe it could be Bam or maybe Tyler could average 25 a game. And like I've said plenty of times, no, they can't. That's not who they are. And so, yeah, man, because I that was one of the things that I was going to bring up. I think I like mentioned it in the chat that I wanted to bring something up, but like I said, I've done enough listening and everything since I said that, and then it's just I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, yo, like we gotta give them the money. We gotta give them the money and figure it out from there.
Right. And I'll say this. I've had and I like these past couple weeks, especially after Jimmy suffered that injury to Philly, because it already felt like so much was over after that at the time. And I had the plastic bag on my head and everything because it was just that terrible. I was thinking of all types of options for the Heat, assuming that the season would probably come to an end from there that point on. But It's like a list of things. And I'll say this. Give Jimmy the money, all right? Because I feel like he deserves it for the following reasons. We don't know what's going to happen this offseason regarding being able to get another star on this team and all that. And if I have to watch Jimmy go out there and, him and Bam carry a team of G Leaguers to the finals again or wherever, just to inevitably lose to a team that's just simply better than us, like the Nuggets or whoever, then by all means, dog, give him that money, because y'all gonna continue to put this stuff on this plate and continue to ask him to take y'all to this promised land. And if that's how y'all want to be like, pay him at least. Pay him what he's worth. Since that's how much y'all want to put. If y'all want to make him carry all these responsibilities, then why don't you pay him at that point? Give him what he deserves. So the money I have no issue with, and like you mentioned, Alex, it's only 1 extra year. So it's like, who cares about that? Another thing is this: if you don't want to pay him, and it hurts my heart so much to say this because people always suggested this, and I've always been against it throughout the years. But if you don't want to pay him and y'all can't get a star, take him out of his misery and trade him to a contender so he can go get his ring elsewhere. Because at this point, I don't want to see him go through this with all these other teams, because he continues to play at such a high level when you need him to in the playoffs. But because other guys aren't stepping up, because we got friggin' all these undrafted players to count on instead. Because the only consistent guy is Bam. Tyler, you don't know if he's even going to be healthy. And even if he is, you know what he's capable of. One inconsistent game, after every 4 or 5 games. So there's that. Like, at this point, let him go out, let him get his ring. And if you can't get him his help and you don't even want to pay him, let him go elsewhere. Because at this point, might as well go let him get his championship with a team that actually got some stars he can legit compete with. And I hate to say it, okay, because I'm literally wearing this jersey right now. And I never want him to go anywhere. And I want him to win a championship in Miami. Anyone who's listened to this pod knows that. But it's getting to that point, 5 years after Jimmy has first come to Miami, where it's like I'm now getting skeptical and I'm now having my worries with what this squad's trying to do. So that's where I stand with this whole situation.
I mean, he retiring in Miami. I said it earlier. I sent y'all the text, the tweet. I fired it off as soon as I seen it. Get a man his money. He deserves it.
Amen. But yeah, so there's that. Let's see. I do want to talk about this offseason though, because there's so much. We did touch on Donovan Mitchell, and I do want to know, aside from him, like, what are you guys looking for the Heat to address come offseason time? I'm gonna start off with you, Kay.
I just think that they need to go. They need to go get another guy. They need to go get another guy they can depend on. And see, I don't know if I'm as gung-ho as going to flat out get a Donovan Mitchell type as y'all. I think that with Terry Rozier, with Bam Adebayo, with Jimmy Butler, you could take some draft capital. You could take, in a weak draft, by the way, you could take some draft capital. You could take Tyler Herro. I'm not ready to give up on Caleb Martin yet. He struggled, but I'm not ready to do that yet. Depending on the deal, of course. Depending on the deal. If he get 13, then yeah, he can be out. But if his number like 7, then nah, I want him back. 8, I want him back.
He gone, bro.
I mean, yeah, but he won't that good this year, bro. Like, I don't think he gonna get that 13.
He gonna get that 13, bro. He gonna.
I mean, you never know, because it's like I wasn't expecting Max to get a bag like the one he got in Cleveland, especially after the finals.
That's different, though. That's shooting. That's different. That's different. But I hear you. Like I said, if we got to sign and trade to move him, sure. Whatever. but I think you could flip Tyler a couple more pieces, draft pick, another future protected draft pick, whatever, because you hit on Nico, you hit on Jaime. That means you can afford to miss or give up 2 draft picks if you need to, because you go get an undrafted guy, sorry, Joe, or 2 anyway every year. I mean, you could turn that into a 4th guy. And I'm talking like whatever Drew Holiday was to Chris Middleton and you know what I'm saying, Giannis in that year. Whatever you consider, you know what I'm saying, a healthy version of Beal to be to Durant and Booker. Like just whatever you consider Paul George to be to Russ, and I mean not Russ, but James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. Like I think if you go out and just get another one of those guys that you can actually depend on, I mean, I think that's the way to go about it, because ultimately when you look on the other side, that's what they had.
Right. I just want to say though quickly to like add on, because there was that other name you mentioned that group, and I don't know, there's like maybe 6 or so reasons as to why maybe it could happen. Perhaps like I don't know, like because there's like 6 or so names, if you know what I'm talking about, K, where you could maybe see the Heat add, but this guy's especially. Do you know where I'm going with this or not? The name ain't
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going, and I'm quite fond of that name. Sorry guys, my dog is being disruptive, but
know who we talking about too.
I do know who you're talking about, man. I listen. If he tell me he gonna stay 2 years, you can get the next 2 years draft pick and everything not named Duncan, Jaime, or Nico. You can get Terry.
All right. I mean, I'll say this though, because he is a free agent this summer, so it's like, well, he could be.
Is he a free agent? I thought he was on a 1-1
option. I believe
he got opt out.
Oh, he got an opt out. Oh
Yeah.
nah, yeah. Oh nah, he coming. I
Oh.
thought we would have to trade for him. I think he coming. Where else he going? Cleveland?
I don't know.
He's staying.
He not staying. He ain't staying in LA, dog.
Thing, right? And to all those who don't know already, we talking about LeBron in case y'all ain't get the context clues.
He ain't staying in LA, dog.
This is my thing, right? That whole report Woj put out is a little sus, because here's the thing. First of all, this dude, LeBron and Clutch, they have zero respect for Woj whatsoever. In case y'all don't know the beef, basically, Woj used to badmouth LeBron a lot back during his first stint in Cleveland, wrote a lot of hate pieces about him. He was basically Skip Bayless originally, before Skip Bayless came in and started doing his thing, and started hating on LeBron even more, and going from there with it. But yeah, LeBron kept a good attention of that, and he never forgot about it. And that's why, even as he became the star that he was already a star at that time. But as the years went by, he never forgot about it. And even when big news happens, him or Clutch never leaks it to Woj. Like, you always hear Shams usually report about it first, because Shams has a good connection with LeBron and company. The same can't be said with Woj. And if y'all want a good example of that, 2022 was a huge one when that whole trade deadline fiasco went down, when you had who was it? It was the James Harden and Ben Simmons trade, right? If y'all don't know, Ben Simmons' agent is also Rich Paul, and that trade basically didn't go through. Well, it went through, but like, you had a guy like Woj, and they were asking him, like, you got the source, right? So what's going on? We seen that trade happen or not? He checks in with Clutch, and they tell him ain't nothing going on, probably nothing going to happen. And he goes out and reports that. What's ending up being weird is that 2 guys specifically, and one especially from that same network as him, and ESPN, comes out and they're like, nah, Sixers and Nets are working on a trade right now. We might see something happen very soon. Those 2 people was none other than Shams and Brian Windhorst, who we all know has been following LeBron for a good part of his career. All of this stuff happens. We don't know who's right, who's wrong. And then lo and behold, before you know it, boom, the trade is announced at the deadline. James Harden is the Sixer, Ben Simmons is in that. And people looking at Woj, they like, dude, you always are on spot on with your reports. What happened? This right here happened. They leaked the wrong info because they do not vibe with them. So this is the thing that comes off a little suspicious to me, right? LeBron, the Lakers lose Game 5. He tells the reporters and everything when they ask him, "Yo, you coming back to LA next year?" I don't know. And then Rich Paul goes out and tells Woj like the following day or whenever that he's gonna stay in Lakers on a 2-3 year deal. Like he that's what he's gonna do. That just doesn't make sense to me because first of all, Rich Paul is smart. He's been doing this for a long time with LeBron. He would not leak out LeBron's plans when it's very obvious he wants to keep that a secret for now. So that's one thing. And second of all, even if he was to leak this info out, why would you tell someone that's clearly a big op-2 clutch in Woj this information? Like if he told this to Shams or a Brian Windhorst, that would make sense to me, but he didn't. So I don't really know what the plan is for LeBron, but something's not right, especially after I heard that report from Woj. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Let's see. Anyone want to?
I'm with you, man. I mean, it's been too much chatter, man, and it's too much volatility. I think that LeBron loves living in LA, but I think that if he wants to maximize his basketball vitality, he knows there's one of several places. If LeBron does choose to leave, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he would ever do it, but do not count out San Antonio.
We want to be in pop, perhaps, but like the thing is, because you don't know,
and you know what they got more of than a lot of teams.
Put draft picks or we
cap.
That's a good point. Especially with him on that rookie contract too. That's true. I hope not. I mean, listen, you know what? Savannah, his wife, she looks like she, enjoy where the sunshine at, and she want to be in a good location. So I'm.
All right, Joel. I was about to say, where we going with this?
I'm just saying, like, I don't know if Savannah trying to go to San Antonio. Y'all. I don't know if y'all checked
with them big old girls.
Yo, stop, bro. I was about to say, like, y'all know what Charles Barkley was saying about San Antonio that other night, when he was talking about that other place. But
I'm just trying to think, bro. Like, it ain't that many places. Like, I mean, would he go to New York?
I don't know. What's his relationship, right? What's his?
He wouldn't play for Dolan. Y'all don't think?
I don't know, cause like that, and then Leon Rose, like, cause I know they used to be agents at one. That used to be his agent at one point, but like,
he was gonna try to run that man into the ground, bro. He ain't trying to deal with that.
True.
That's true. Yeah, cause he gonna have to play like 40-some minutes, and at his age, bro,
I don't know, man. So
he gonna be 40. Tim's gonna try and make that man average 40 minutes a game.
So we've narrowed it down. He either going.
You can play 40.
You still will. So he either going back to LA, he going to Miami, or dark horse is San Antonio. That's my thought.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
I think it's.
I don't know.
Honestly, like I'm with Kay in regard to the fact that, like, if he really just sat down and was just like, I want to go somewhere where I know they're gonna build. For the rest of my career, they're going to build a team that I could probably win with. Then it's literally just it literally is only Miami.
Right.
But he worried about he got too many different things that he already worried about that's pulling him in all different directions. He's staying at LA.
I think that,
and he's gonna try and continue to like strong arm them into doing stuff that he wanted them to do, because obviously he knew. I mean, one of the reasons that he left was because he couldn't strong arm Pat Riley. You can't do that.
But my thing is this, though, bro. It's like at this particular juncture, you ain't got a strong arm into nothing. They'll do whatever you want them to do.
And like, listen, Jimmy.
It's like, what's your point in playing? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you playing the leverage games now? You ain't gotta do that.
And Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, bro, like you got it for you right there with them two guys. And we
I
know
mean, like if you line Jimmy, Braun, and Bam up beside each other, they are literally the three same dudes. Like you got Jimmy is Goten, right? Jimmy is Goten. Like Bam is Trunks and Braun is Gotinks. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the perfect. It's like you got little Braun, you got regular Braun, then you got bigger Braun. Like I mean, I just think that if you looking at a situation that here's the thing, and we know how intentional the dude is. For the last 2 years specifically, he's gone out of his way to salute Pat Riley, to salute Eric Spoelstra and his Miami Heat organization. Look, man, if Six come back, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna be an ignorant mom if Six come back. So, you know, that's all I got there, man. I ain't really got nothing else, man. Let's go on and tie a bow around this thing, man.
Yeah, man. I mean that, Donovan Mitchell, whoever, dog. It's like I'm not gonna put too much thought this offseason because I don't know what to expect, especially after the whole Dame nonsense last year. So it's just one of those things where you just gotta pray, hope, and see, right? So I'm just gonna enjoy this postseason, go from there, and then
Sidebar, that is good. That is good though, because here's the thing: the Miami Heat were active. Like we're looking at it revisionist. They didn't get anybody right, and that hurts and that bothers us. But what we can take encouragement from is they were trying like hell to get Dame last year. Now we can't make Joe Cronin, act right or be fair, but they were trying like hell. So that's a good thing. Sorry, bro. You can close.
Nah, so like overall, man, it's just one of those things where we're just gonna have to wait this off season and see because we don't know who's gonna be available. I know they were trying to say Woj at one point that so many names could maybe come on the market, and that's the thing about the NBA. It's so unpredictable, and if I was trying to find it ahead of time, I was trying to find this quick thing that I want to post up about this LeBron convo real quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it up. And okay, no, so I'm not going to be able to post it. But it was basically a picture of Maverick Carter and Pat Riley talking earlier this year. So take that as you will, because y'all know how not LeBron, but y'all know how Pat Riley feel about clutch too. So that's another thing that we'll have to keep an eye out for. But overall, man, it's gonna be a lot to see, and overall, I do want to get y'all's quick takes on something too before we officially wrap this pod up, because some people do have their own thoughts about this off season, and I'm only gonna share one or two because we're already almost 50 minutes in, so bear right with me. Let's see. Who's ready for the first take? We'll take 30 seconds on each one, and then we'll close it out right there. So the first take that someone wanted us to react to. Someone says that the Rozier deal was a disaster and that they didn't like the fact that we gave up a first round pick for a guy who was not able to help the team, and the fact that we also lost the apron flexibility because we no longer have Kyle Lowry. So that, and then also the fact that Rozier played the Heat. When Rozier played with the Heat, they were nearly 7 points per 100 possessions better with him off the floor. So I want to hear from y'all from this one take. Do y'all agree or disagree, and why or why not? We'll start off with you, Alex.
The Terry deal had to be done. At the point in the season that we were, it got to the point where the relationship with Kyle Lowry could not continue. So that basically was the best that they could do. Kyle was not supposed to come into this season as a member of the Heat. So that already made it a sticky situation. And they made it work for a while, but like I said, the relationship had ran its course. So that had to be done. Yeah, it would have been nice to have his deal expiring right now, but I mean, with the money that they're paying Bam, Tyler, Jimmy, it's not like we would have had $30 million cap space. So, so my opinion, like that, yeah, that deal had to be done.
UK?
I agree with Alex. Alex said everything I wanted to say, and I was trying to look up something real quick because I want to say that. Hold on. I want to say that Terry Rozier's money for this next season is actually partially guaranteed. Okay, no. It's the following year. It's the following year where it's only partially guaranteed. But yeah, man. So I say that to say this. It wasn't a disaster. It just didn't work out like you thought it would this year. I think he'll definitely be a positive piece for him next year with a whole offseason, whole training camp, and he doesn't make the mission as hard. If they got a guy that they could go in and add off of the market, like the guys we're talking about, I think it's a super positive move. And he's also a tradable contract. It wasn't a disaster.
All right, so that's nice to hear. So another take that's out there is there is a real possibility that the Heat salary dump Hero and practically run it back. I feel like we kind of tackled this a little bit, but y'all can answer it in 1 or 2 words if you want.
Any trade of Tyler Herro would isn't running it back to me. And I don't see any way where they salary dump him. Like I think Kay mentioned it earlier, like there are enough teams that would be interested in his services.
Yeah.
For us to not have to just, this is a salary dump.
Right.
Tyler Herro was never going to, and definitely is not going to, in my opinion, headline a star trade. But sending Tyler Herro out to the right organization where he can go and flourish in whatever role they have for him could still get you decent pieces, in my opinion.
Again, not to cut you off, Alex, throw Tyler Herro on the Warriors. Throw Tyler Herro on the Grizzlies. Throw Tyler Herro on the Kings. In that, you get what I'm saying? Hell, throw him on Phoenix in that Grayson Allen role. All I'm saying is when he's not the top perimeter-oriented option, great piece.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then we'll do one more take after that. There was a whole bunch that they threw in this group chat.
You said 2. They don't get but 2. No, I'm joking. Go.
So let's see. The final one, I'm just trying to pick one that actually isn't like common knowledge. The Heat trade one of Jimmy or Bam, along with a few others, for a superstar. I'm going to hop in there and say no, simply because of the fact that it's Jimmy or Bam till the wheels fall off. And not only that, but I don't think at this point, first of all, I feel like we'd be dumb to trade Bam specifically because at this point, like that's your future. And I think they made it clear from that report you had Woj come out with that the Heat would definitely want to look for a star that fits Bam's timeline. And also, like we mentioned before with Jimmy, man, I mean, come on. They're going to do right by him, and hopefully we can just get that star next to him and Bam. Anything you guys want to add?
Jimmy and Bam is the superstar, dog. Anything you should be looking to add is a guy to come in to be great beside them. Exactly. They not getting replaced. Jimmy going out on his own sword when he want to go out as a member of the Miami Heat. Bam gonna be here forever because he's simply a Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra type guy. And you can't teach the stuff he can do intangibly and defensively. And that's kind of the fundamental of what the Miami Heat are. So anything that comes in here is going to be to complement those two guys.
Right. You, Alex?
There are literally, I say, maybe 3 guys in the world that if their teams called and was like, yo, we'll send you such and such for Bam, that the Heat might actually look at each other and be like, we might have to think about this.
They'll listen.
They'll be like, okay, we'll think about this. But
hold on, name them real quick.
Jokic, Shea, Luka, Giannis, Pretty sure that's it.
The guy in Minnesota.
I wouldn't want to trade Bam for Ed, man. I want Ed
I
Man to come play with
I wouldn't either, but you gotta look at that fool and think about it.
You're right. You're right about that. But yeah, I think that's literally it. And ain't nobody, none of them people are calling. So yeah, I'm with K. No, it's not happening. No.
All right. So I love that we've all been like agreeing with each other on all these takes. And I mean, that basically sums it up for us. I mean, overall, it's going to be a big off season. I'm praying and hoping because, like I said before, I do not want 14 on my team come next year. Please don't make me go through it again, Miami Heat. I'm begging y'all. But aside from that, man, let's have fun this offseason. Hopefully, we'll make some great moves. And hopefully, it's going to be a productive summer. Because like you said, Kay, I mean, at least they was really going for it last year. And, you know, hopefully it pays off this year. So aside from that, man, a lot of decisions will be made and we'll go from there with it. And this pod especially, it hits hard because this is our final pod for the season, man. And we've had such a great ride this year, even though the season didn't go the way how we wanted it to, even though there was a lot of frustrating episodes trying to go through exactly what's been up with this team. It's still been a fun ride. And I do got to give my flowers to so many people. First of all, shout outs to our two guys here. Much love to you, Kay. Much love to you, Alex. It's been great doing this pod with you guys. And then also, I actually got my iPad out here because I didn't want to make sure I forgot anyone. I also want to give thanks. This isn't going into any specific order. I'm just listing it as they come out in this group chat that we got with our whole team. I also want to give a special thanks to Anthony DiNardo, George. Let's see, our guy Orchard. Let's see, moving forward. We got Duran. Let's see, and then we got from our TikTok team guys like I ain't gonna say his name, but hopefully he changed it after the Heat trade him. But he refers to himself as Herosexuals who handle our TikTok page. So hopefully he'll change that name again very soon. Then you got our guy Caden who contributed every now and then to our website. You then have, let's see, you gotta keep scrolling through this. Our guy J. Kell. Will Livesey, our guy Dean, who I don't know was weird because he was here at one point, but I think our brother had something to handle at the moment. When it came to our social media, we had our girl Destiny handle stuff with our graphics and everything. Also, big special thanks to let's see, Kiana, aka Mystique. Hopefully, we can get her on a pod real soon. Big shout outs to another Anthony, Anthony Passy, who y'all probably saw in a few episodes throughout the season. Our guy Kevin, Miami Clutch PE. Let's see, and then we got scrolling through. Our guy Nicholas Connect. Let's see, our girl Erica. And then also big shout outs to our other shows as well. Dolphins versus the World. Let's see, Panthers versus the World. Make sure y'all check their stuff out. You got, let's see, Anthony and Chase, along with Chase, who's working the Panthers pod with our guy Jeremy. Big ups to them. And also a big special thanks to our folks at Biscayne Breakdown, none other than Kay and Dean, who've been putting on great shows, episode after episode. And man,
we not taking a break for the summer, y'all. Joe taking a break, but we still gonna try to hit you across the head every 7 to 10 days or so. Talk about what's going on in Heat world. Like I said, Joe need a break. I'm always ready. I'm with bleed me out.
Yeah. Let me just put on the banner real quick. But aside from that, man, it's been great. We're potting to you guys. Thank y'all so much. Well, I don't want to steal a page from the Biscayne Breakdown book, but thank y'all so much throughout this whole year for lending your ear to this sound. We gonna be back very soon, though. This ain't the Biscayne Breakdown, but you know, we gonna be back very soon. I gotta take some time off. That's why I'm not too mad we lost in the first round, because now I can have a full off season under me where, you know, I can just relax while the Heat go and handle business. But aside from that, man, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Until next time, man, much love. And until next time, hit my music because we out.
Behind my back.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time with a brand new episode of the Heat versus the World podcast.